Marsala wine. This is a fortified wine. Very similar to Madeira, sherry, port, all of those kind of wines. And what that basically just means is that there's a spirit added to it, like a brandy. And it sort of increases the shelf life. I feel it's a little bit of a smoother kind of wine, which is why it's often used in cooking. The flavor you get when it's reduced down is pretty delicious. And one of the most popular dishes that is made with this is chicken marsala. Chicken marsala is one of my favorite dishes ever. I've had it in Italy, I've had it in America. It's served a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's just the wine reduced all the way down into a glazed and poured over chicken. In America, it's kind of a little bit more of a marsala chicken stock mix, and the chicken is sort of braised in that cooking liquid until it's reduced and glazes the chicken. It's delicious either way you do it. I'm probably gonna take a little bit more of an American spin on it. Just gonna add some chicken stock to kind of give it a little bit more body. Gonna finish it with butter, and we're gonna have delicious chicken marsala. It could be made with veal. Veal is what you probably will see it in Italy. We just get veal cutlets, cut them thin the same way I'm gonna cut this chicken, and the recipe is exactly the same. So we got our marsala wine. Chicken marsala is also served with mushrooms. A lot of times it's kind of a little bit sad because you use button mushrooms, and button mushrooms are not my favorite. These are the best alternative to button mushrooms, which are cremini mushrooms, which are baby portobello mushrooms. These are gonna have more flavor. It's just gonna create a little bit better of a dish. They're pretty clean. There's a little bit of dirt on them, which I might wipe off with my hand, but I'm not gonna go crazy cleaning these. If they're filthy, then just kind of rinse them under water real quick, dry them off. They should be fine. There's a little bit of dirt on it. It's all good. And then I'm just gonna cook these with some thyme. And we're gonna cook these mushrooms separately and then add them to the marsala so that we can get a nice cook on these. We get a little bit of color, and we can cook them down in some garlic and onions. Then I got my flour, which we're gonna dredge the chicken in. Dredging that is gonna help create a little bit of a thickening agent in the sauce reducing at the end of the cook. We've got a couple shallots and a couple cloves of garlic, which we're just going to slice up and dice up and cook with the mushrooms. I've got some butter here, which I'm gonna go put in the fridge and keep cold. This is gonna finish the sauce at the very end. And then I've just got some chicken stock. That's gonna give the sauce a little bit more body. It's gonna create more sauce, which I think is the best part of this dish. Then we just got some fresh parsley. And then we got our chicken. Just boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I got 3 of them here. They're sort of small. I may cut them in half and just leave them like that. So let's just get right into it. I've also got some new pans. You haven't seen me talk much about my pans because I generally haven't been using anything I would really suggest to anyone until now. I'm starting to hone in on some companies I like, and one of them, which is sort of a newcomer on the block, is this company, Sardell. I've been using these for a couple days. I have not used these pans. These are brand new. I'm gonna be using them on the show, testing them out. Maybe in a little bit I will report back on what I think, but they're beautiful. I love them so far. If you want to check these out, we've hooked up an affiliate link that'll be down in the description so you can check out Sardell, what they have to offer. Very affordable for a beautiful set of cookware. But these are new. I need to give them a quick wash before I use them. First, let's prep our vegetables. Now the stem is edible, but it's a little bit rough and dried out at the bottom. I like to just take a little bit off of the stem on all the cremini, and then I'm just going to slice them, not super duper thin, because remember these shrink a lot. So I'm just gonna cut them into little sort of thick slices, and that's gonna be it. So I'm just gonna slice my garlic thin and then dice the shallot fine. So I got my garlic and my shallots diced. Rip off a little bit of the parsley. Take off the little tendon. That's just gonna be a nice piece on its own. Then you just got your chicken breast. Start on the fatter side, and then just go in half. If it's this thin, if it's bigger, you can slice it into multiple slices. But this guy's so thin, I just need one. There you go. So we're gonna dredge our chicken in this. In with the flour, a cup and a half, 2 cups, probably closer to 2 cups. Big pinch of salt, pepper. I'm just gonna season each piece a little bit. Straight into the dredge. I'm gonna dredge it really well. Chicken's ready. Now everything's pretty much prepped. All we have to do is kind of bring it all together. One thing I want to note about the Marsala is you want to make sure you get a good Italian imported Marsala. I see a lot of Marsalas in the store with like vinegars and cooking wines and stuff like that. You don't want none of that. You want good stuff. And it's not going to cost you that much. This bottle was $9. And this is like a mini guy, but it's going to last a little bit. And these make great sauces. So pick yourself up a good one. Essentially what we're going to do, cook the mushrooms in a pan with some oil. Once those are nicely browned, we're going to season them, add the onions and the garlic, and let that kind of cook together. Once everything's nicely cooked, set that into the back of the stove. We're gonna take another pan, add a little bit of olive oil, then we're going to brown the chicken. We don't really need to cook it all the way through. We just wanna get color on each side. Then transfer out of the pot. We're gonna add our wine, deglaze, add our stock, and then cook that down. And once that starts to get nice and bubbly and thickened, we're gonna add our chicken back in, we're gonna add our cooked mushrooms, and we're gonna finish this guy off with a little butter. That's it, it's delicious. Let's go make chicken marsala. And look at how yummy this looks. So cooking it down in that sauce, that chicken almost becomes like velvety and melt in your mouth tender. That's the benefit of kind of letting it cook in that sauce for a little bit. Chicken's cooked through perfectly and it's moist. Just delicious. So simple, yet so delicious. It's easy to do. It's perfect any night of the week. That's a delicious one, guys. One of my favorites. As always, if you make my recipes, make sure you go tag me in an Instagram story or a post over at The Food Freak with 2 Ks. Love seeing what you guys make, and I think this is a perfect sort of weeknight meal for the family that everyone's gonna love. Thanks so much for my patrons scrolling up on the screen right now. Appreciate you all. Thanks for everyone who watched. That's all I have today. I'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourself and go feed yourself.